So we've talked about common roadblocks to productivity, and we've also honed in on those roadblocks that affect us most personally. And now we're going to dive deeper into personalization. Each person is different. We have different ways of thinking. We have different circumstances, different constraints, different bodies, and different brains. And who we are as people can affect our productivity. It is much easier to build a system around who we are already, what our core tendencies are naturally, than it is to force who we are into an already existing system. We don't want to attempt to shove a square peg into a round hole. We want to build something that fits you. There's a reason that there are so many different productivity books, apps, methods, and ideas out there, each one of them planning to be the silver bullet. And they probably are the silver bullet for whoever came up with it in the first place. But everything is not going to work out for every single person. It's necessary to tweak, to adjust, and to iterate, and sometimes even to just throw out a strategy that's not working for you. Humans will always find it easier to stick with something if it is both easy and convenient for them. So I'm going to help you build a system that conforms to your lifestyle and your work style. That said, I do want to spend a minute talking about habit building. At its core, a habit is something that you don't have to think about doing, and habit is a neutral word. There are good habits and there are bad habits. Studies show that up to 40% of our daily actions are actually fueled by habit. But I'm sure you know that habits are often filled and difficult to break. And humans with a need for immediacy, we often throw in the towel when we're trying something new before our brains have even had the chance to build a habit. So throughout this course, you're going to be learning about techniques, strategies, tips, and tricks, and you're going to be able to choose from them to build your own system. But just because something seems like it will work with your natural tendencies, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come easily. Building a habit is just that. It's a construction process that takes time. Study shows that on average it takes between 21 and 66 days to build a new habit. And remember, you build the habit when you're doing something without thinking about it. So you're going to try new things and you're going to fail, that I guarantee. And then I'm going to ask you to cut yourself some slack and keep going. Try again, begin the day after, and then in a few weeks or a couple of months, a consistent practice, the habit should be built on. So how do you know when the habit is built? This is a really interesting question, but I like to think of it like this. You know when a habit is built when you no longer feel good about doing the thing when you do it, but you do feel bad when you miss it. So most people have a habit of brushing our teeth twice in the day. Let's hope. And I'm pretty sure that you don't give yourself a pat on the back every time you brush your teeth. But do you feel a bit guilty when you forget to brush your teeth at the end of a long day? You bet. That's a habit. So none of this is rocket science. But these practices do take diligent and consistent work. As they say, what's common sense is not always common practice. The next lesson will dive into some specific tendencies and talk about how to use who you are already to maximize your time, management, and productivity.